Hey everyone, and welcome to another Mountain Man Monday. This is live stream episode number 73. Today is May the 3rd, 2021. I want to welcome everyone who's going to join me later and live this late Monday evening. Not quite the late night show, but almost getting to it. And those of you that catch up later on the Mr. Mountain Man YouTube channel, as always, this live stream and all of them are available under the live stream playlist. I hope everyone's had a nice start to their week and a fantastic Monday. I did my best to get on as early as I could. I said 9 to 9:30. It's 9:43 and it's late. I know some folks will not be able to attend this late. Life's full, family's full. It's not a lack of wanting to get on. It's all about timing and when I'm able to. So I'm happy to be here. I hope everybody, again, is having a nice start to their week. We'll have time for probably a little bit of an abridged version tonight because I don't want to be on too late. So I'll probably get into the news notes a little earlier than normal and see who we have with us again. I appreciate everybody's patience on waiting for me to hop on to this Mountain Man Monday live stream this evening. Got to keep the pipes lubricated here so I can say howdy to everyone. Let's see who's rolling in here. We got Living Like Larry. Happy Mountain Man Monday to you as well, Larry. I hope everything's going great up in Ohio and you are having a nice start to your week. Hey, Hope Faith, how are you doing? Just chatting with you a little bit earlier on the community post that I made for tonight's live stream. Again, I think everybody who joins here is a regular and knows about it, but just in case anybody doesn't, if you go to my YouTube channel or if you subscribed and have notifications, you should see my community post, which alert what time roughly I plan on starting the live stream. And I would always communicate through that. That is the best means. And so, anyway, was mentioning to Faith. I know, Faith, you said you had a little bit of a rough start to your week or a rough week, so hope things get better. Faith, you had asked me, how did I enjoy the video from last week, the Code Brown? And it was hilarious. There's a police officer who races home. I think his wife is there, and he's got to take a poop, and he's got all his gear on. He's got his, vest and his gear and, all his police outfit and uniform. He's trying to rip it off because he's got to go to the bathroom and his wife's getting a real kick out of it. And he's, trying to run to the bathroom. She's like, why didn't you just go to the bathroom when you're out? He's like, I'm not going in those nasty places. So it was a hilarious video. I loved it. And I thought it was awesome. So thank you, Faith, for that little laugh as I correct my hat. That drives me crazy. I'm like, it's all crooked there. Hey, Brian, how you doing? BBBB. And B to the fourth, really, or B squared or something like that. Hope you are having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Hey, Mr. Carlos, at least it's only 6:45 on the West Coast. I like the optimism. I like the silver lining. You are 100% right, Mr. Carlos. It is a lot earlier. And, I encourage that because a lot of my conversation is obviously around the Blue Ridge Mountains, North Carolina, Tennessee, this area, although for those of you that regularly attend know, we don't always just talk about the local area. My news and notes does tend to focus mostly on that. But I made a comment a few weeks ago that I wasn't sure if people from other areas were listening. And sure enough, I got a couple of comments on that particular live stream after the fact of people who caught up, some from Europe and a few from, I think, the West Coast, and said like somebody from Oregon, and they said they loved it. They enjoyed it or what, something to the effect. And so it was very nice to hear that there's folks, from outside the area that still enjoy hearing about this area. And so, yes, that is great. Hey, Rita. Hello, Mr. Mountain. Happy you were able to join us. Laughing out loud. That is right. I know it's, I had a stack of stuff. So one of the things I'm trying to think ahead is on this Thursday, I get this second vaccine shot. And in anticipation of, that one can be a little rough sometimes. I wanted to go ahead and get my workouts in ahead of time. I don't normally work out Monday. I haven't for the last year. I used to enjoy it, but Mondays typically are the busiest day at the gym. And during the pandemic, I was trying to avoid the heaviest crowds. So I stopped working out on Mondays, which worked out for Mountain Man Monday. But this week I was like, if I'm not going to feel like working out Thursday and maybe Friday, I want to go ahead and stack it. So I'm working out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So today was a little unusual that I went to the gym on the Monday evening, got back, had a quick meal, tried to spend a little bit of time with the kids, getting things organized. This live stream is brought to you in part by my wife, who is covering, most those activities this evening so that I could exercise and also go to the gym. Although we have a good balance. There's a lot of times I'm going 1,000 miles an hour covering and doing a lot. And we both, work very hard. So, but anyway, that's one of the reasons I just was getting on later. It's never because I'm just like sitting around on the couch and then I'm like, oh, let me start the live stream. It's always because it's like, go, 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 go. And then I'm like wrapping up my news and notes, putting my stuff together because I like to have the more current news. And so, yeah, that's how everything culminated tonight. And I'm happy to be with you. Living Like Larry says, watch your socket video, but forgot to comment. So for those of you, again, a lot of you hear about my other channel, The Eclectic Candyman. I have some fantastic folks here that enjoy both Mr. Mountain Man and the other one, because again, it's just me at the end of the day, just a little different topic. But I did this video about this rare Craftsman socket that I had picked up. And it was interesting because it got some thumbs down. And I know some people say don't pay attention to all that, but listen, like right out of the gate, and I don't have that many subscribers over there. It was peculiar because it doesn't normally happen. I honestly think, because I happen to know there's a lot of people that really want that socket. I say this kind of, humorously, not angry, that some folks are a little spiteful and jealous about that socket. People who don't do collecting or in the tool world would have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm serious. I think some people are like, what? He got that socket. I want that socket so badly. And gave me a thumbs down because there was nothing wrong with the video. It wasn't controversial. I didn't say anything weird. But I actually have had that socket for a couple months, I think. And it was fun because I didn't even know it existed. And but hey, it was a little bit crazy because that particular socket was a bit of a price. But as I mentioned in the video, a lot of people collect a lot of things or just buy a lot of junk and do a lot of things. And so everybody does with their money what they please. And in this particular case, I did splurge a bit on a socket for a collection. But yeah, was I happy with the draft? That's in reference to the NFL draft. I was. My favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, picked up Najee Harris from Alabama, who, by the way, is a tremendous character. This gentleman donates a lot of time at local homes and with the homeless and stuff like that. I thought it was fantastic. And he's a tremendous football player. I'm not an Alabama fan. I'm an Ohio State fan. You can see the Ohio shirt that I have on in the background here. And Alabama beat Ohio State in the national championship. But once they go to the pros, that's all out the door. And whoever ends up becoming a Steeler is fantastic. I thought it was a lot of fun. I listened to it on what's called Steelers Nation Radio on iHeartRadio. And I had a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun Thursday through Saturday, listening in the background while I was Saturday mowing the grass for the first time and stuff like that. I wish the Bengals would have taken Sewell, needed O-line help over the wide receiver. Yeah, the draft was so deep that most of the O-line didn't get drafted till second, third, and fourth round or further. The first round was more about skill positions like quarterbacks and wide receivers and things of that nature. Yeah, Burrow's not going to do well on his back. I told you that the one thing that rubbed me wrong about Burrow, a lot of these guys are coached very well and have tremendous character coming out of college. They say things like, I just want to learn. I want to get behind the veterans. I want to do this and I got to earn my right. I got to do well. I'm going to work hard. A lot of that stuff. And even if they're coached to say that, it's still the right thing. It's being humble. The same way in the business world or anywhere else or any job you have. Like, you don't go in acting cocky, because you got to, there's people that have been there longer, and you got to learn the ropes, especially if you're young. And Joe Burrow, I remember the day he got drafted, started talking junk about the Steelers on Twitter on draft night, but it wasn't like fun stuff. It was like, I forget what the tweets were. They were pretty aggressive. And I'm like, I don't think he responded. I remember some tweets like win one game in the NFL first, and then maybe you can say something. So anyway, yeah, I'm not a Burrow fan, and I wasn't, especially since he came from LSU. I have for all that. How far from Burke County is that orchard you filled a while back? So there were two questions about the orchard. Hope, you had a question, and I can ask it for the wider audience. Hope asked if the orchard I went to and made a video was handicap accessible. Okay, so the if you remember, if anybody remembers that the Apple Festival is in the fall in Henderson County. This last year we went to Justice Orchard. If I recall correctly, Hope, the main building that I bought like some donuts and I did a little tour did have a handicap ramp. However, the main fields for the apple picking, I'm no expert in that area. It's obviously like asking if can any wheelchair go on off-road terrain. It's flat, but I'm sure there's divots and and things of that nature. So I can't speak fully on how that goes when you're out in the orchard. But at least the building to pick up a souvenir and such, I believe they did. I believe I recall. And if you look back at that video, you might be able to see when I do the wide shot that I believe there was a handicap ramp going up to get to that building. Also, from Burke County, I'll be honest with you, I don't know where Burke County is. I'm going to look that up right now. Morganton, Black Mountain. Okay. All right. So that is, you're looking at, okay. So roughly from there, it looks like one would take 64 down and then over maybe by Lake Lore, take 74 alternate over. And so looks like about within an hour, not too far. Burke County up there where, Morganton and Valdez and Sunnyside and some of that with I-40 running straight through the middle. Burke County is actually east of Little Switzerland and Mount Mitchell. So hopefully that answers your questions. Great questions. Hey, Hike with Mike, how you doing? Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Thanks for being here late this evening. Same with Adriana Lashur, just dropping in. How's your May so far, Mr. Mountain? It's great to see you. It's going well. Very busy. What else is new? I mean, in some respects, I wouldn't have it any other way. I enjoy it, but my cup runneth over, or whatever, as they say. Trolls, jealous of a socket. I know that sounds weird, but like at one point I had 3 thumbs up or 4 and 2 thumbs down. I mean, percentage wise, I'm like, what in the world? And I don't usually, the small channels, to be quite frank, everybody gets 100% thumbs up. There's no trolls yet. There's no jealous competing channels. It's not till you get a little bigger than that people will do that. By the way, the thumbs down is fine. There have been videos I've watched over the time that are show up on my suggested feed that are like gross or just I don't like it or something medical, and I'm like, I'll thumbs down it. That's not to say the content creator did a bad job. It's just like I don't want to see it. Like I don't like that. That's not part of my what I want to see. So is it possible that somebody sees my stuff and says, well, I just really don't like tools. Why is that showing up on my feed? Thumbs down. That's possible. But I don't know. I don't know. You're a busy man, and we're just glad when you can be on in the live stream. Your live stream is the best. I appreciate that, Rita. And, Rita got a shout out from our friend Kentucky Girl, who I bet we're on too late for that. Kentucky Girl had done a video up there in Southern Indiana, I believe, of a covered, well, it was a repurposed walking bridge. And had mentioned, Rita is fantastic. Rita is a an excellent supporter and friend and follower of the channel. This and Eclectic Handyman, a lot of folks on the channel. It's interesting because I'll see some of your comments on. I'll go to some other channel that I've never been to but might be related to travel, and I'll start scrolling through the comments and see Rita's, and if I do, I give it a thumbs up always. So I'm happy to be here. It's good. It's a good way to finish Monday. And I also wanted to be, I know that Hope had said that having a little bit of a rough week, but was looking forward to the live stream. That's great. If a dozen folks show up and everybody's having a good time and enjoying, then that's a plus. Socket envy. I know it's weird. I know, like I can be completely wrong, but it's okay. Let me make an analogy that might make more sense because tools sound weird. But imagine like a baseball card or a comic or, some of the collector's items or stamp or a coin that's really rare and a lot of people are after it or didn't even know it existed. And then somebody gets it. It's like, oh, poo on you. I wanted that, or something like that. But I could be wrong. It's just weird because, I think some people question if it was a counterfeit or fake or something, but you can't. To have a die machine make a socket, and they're not so typically with fakes as they are in high quantity. Like I actually have accidentally bought fake stuff like years ago. I like Bose headphones. So if you look, so I have a pair of these, which I highly recommend if you ever need noise canceling headphones. So I have these Bose headphones. I got these ones not too long ago, but I had the older version some time ago. And the first time I bought them on eBay, and sure enough, they stopped working after like 2 months. And I called Bose and gave them the serial number, and they're like, "Yeah, that's not a registered product." So, but the thing is those were being sold as fakes, but they were being sold in mass, like high quantity. It wasn't like one off. This particular tool socket that I bought is extremely rare. There's no mass quantity. You just can't find them. And so it's legit. But anyway, who knows? The video and audio are great tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means I did my homework, got everything. Speaking of thumbs, don't forget to thumbs up. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Larry. I wonder if I'm too late for Foxy. A couple people, it's my fault. He does seem to have a good character, which is great. That's about Najee Harris. Please keep my family in your prayers. Lost a loved one this past week, laid him to rest today. I'm sorry to hear that, Hope. And again, I hope, I know you've had some tough weeks. So hopefully maybe just being here and some of the other, live streams you hang out with, maybe help make your day a little brighter. I think Burrow helped make the pick of the LSU wide receiver. Oh, okay. Yeah. And Brian, you're a Bengals fan, right? Yes. Prayers for you. Hey, Kenneth Oaks, how you doing? Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. I might be coming to the mountains in the fall. I want to see more North Carolina. I can't do an extreme amount of walking, but I would love to see some beautiful views. What are your suggestions? Okay. So, and this one is ADA accessible. You guys know it probably sounds cliche or just so, my number one, but you guys know I love Mount Mitchell. The views up there are incredible. And by the way, not that the ADA, I was just thinking about what Hope asked earlier. The point being is it's actually a good gauge because if somebody doesn't want to walk a lot or do a lot of off terrain, if something is ADA capable, that also infers or is indicating that it's for everyone. I think Mount Mitchell is fantastic. I think you won't be disappointed. And you know what, Rita? You can get some of this and take it home with you, and then you can have it for a year. That pine up there, and you can have a picnic up there too. Remember those picnic tables? If you watch that Cold Mountain one of my videos, not the official Mount Mitchell one, that's a good one. Okay, other views. Driving on the Blue Ridge Parkway, just driving either east or west out of Asheville is unbelievable, especially in the fall. All those overlooks, you can just park in your car, stand up and get out and take pictures, and you will fill up your camera with the most gorgeous pictures in the fresh air. Of course, like if you wanted to do any mild hiking and do something kind of, organized, of course, Chimney Rock, there's a few dollars to get in, but it's no big deal. There are hundreds and hundreds of hiking destinations around. Also some beautiful views. If you head north out of the city, So a lot of the times when I want to see views, it doesn't mean I have to get out of the car. Like a lot of times in the family, we like to go, if it's warm, we have the windows rolled down. If not, we'll just drive. And so we'll drive up to like Burnsville north and then make a loop or something like that. And then come back to Asheville and just see all kinds of incredible views. Like that place that I went with the snow that one time I made that short video. A place I have not done a video yet, but there are gorgeous views up there, Boone and Blowing Rock and that. But of course, that's pushing east a little bit. Maggie Valley, you're going through the valley and then you can go up and then over to Cherokee. Maggie Valley itself and Cherokee itself don't have the most amazing views. Maggie Valley, you're in a valley and you can see some high mountains. It's the driving that you do to and from that have some very beautiful views. Grandfather Mountain's another one. I will do a video from there eventually, hopefully this year. And that's another fantastic one. Few dollars to get in there. Some iconic sites. The one of the scenes from Forrest Gump is one of the curves going up to Grandfather Mountain. They have like an animal sanctuary or something like that. I vaguely remember I went there 20 years ago and I want to go back. So hopefully that's a plethora of places. And keep us posted about your trip. That's really cool. Can make more suggestions, and that would be really neat. Shout out, please, to my mama, Paulette LaSure, for Mother's Day, if you don't mind. Absolutely, to your mother, to all the mothers here. Yeah, because by next Monday, Mother's Day will have passed. You know, I mean, there's nothing like a mom. There really isn't. You know, I mean, it takes everybody in the world to make the world turn, but mothers are special people. And you know, my mom and everybody here who might be a mom, it's so happy Mother's Day to your mother and to all the mothers out there. And if anybody wants a happy Mother's Day from me, absolutely post in there. I have a few suggestions if you want. I've been here 30 years. Hope, are you in North Carolina? I never knew. Mount Mitchell, Rita. Yes, it was beautiful up there. You know, that's my number one. And that's really cool. Yes, absolutely. I think I'm a little bit behind, so you probably saw that. Wiseman's View, you can see a long way. The mountain lights up after dark. Hey, Little Switzerland, that's another one. You know, I mean, it's just a pass through and maybe have lunch, but you know, the view's up that way. Yeah, I was wondering about Foxy too. I don't think she's missed a live stream in quite some time. Every nut needs a socket. That's right. I love it. You know what? I always talk about bumper stickers. That could go on like the side of a toolbox. That's a good one, Mr. Carlos. I like that. Brian likes the Bengals. Okay, yeah. I tell you, I'm not, I mean, obviously being AFC North, I grew up in Ohio. I was always a Steelers fan because most of my family was from Pennsylvania, extended family. My dad went to Pitt. So I grew up a Steelers fan. My grandfather was a Steelers fan. But I was also a Buckeyes fan because we didn't have that alignment as much with the college. So always an Ohio State fan. If I had to have picked between the Browns and the Bengals, it'd be Bengals. Couldn't stand the Browns. Bengals, I don't like them, and they're a division foe, but splitting hairs, I'd pick the Bengals. Yeah, everything is okay. Just I'm late. I'm a night owl sometimes. I just got to get all the other stuff done to clear, the time slot. And it's different each week. You guys see me pop on every once in a while at 6 p.m. And then the next week it's 6:43 p.m. And so doing well. How's everyone doing? We're great. Mr. Mountain Man, my Mondays are a lot better when I'm in a sad mood. You make my Mondays a lot better. And I appreciate that. Not just myself. Hope there's other great folks here. Everybody in the chat, just a bunch of great people here. Yeah, drive up to Mount Mitchell. Absolutely. Is anybody else glitching? Fine so far. Good to know. And thank you for the update. Good evening, Mr. Mountain Man, and everyone in the chat. To you as well, Ted and Deborah Harrison. Great to have you. And again, I don't want to apologize for being late. I'm just glad that everybody's able to make it. I can't apologize because it's when I could, but thank you for joining later. I appreciate it. Lately, Yitz is getting a lot of negative comments from another YouTuber because they didn't like their review. This is so childish. I only saw a part of that. I only heard a part of that. Again, with being so busy, I was cooking last night, grilling, and I was listening to Will and Dawn. I enjoy their Sunday live stream immensely for the time that I can get on. And I heard Will say something about some YouTuber reached out that was an influencer or something negative or something, but I couldn't get all the story. I didn't get any names or anything like that. The only thing I could say is it's pretty obvious par for the course. I'm sitting here talking about thumbs down stuff. Competitive community. So in the tool community, on the Eclectic Candyman side of the fence, one of my favorite channels is called The Den of Tools. The guy does a lot with, he's got a bear logo and he does all this stuff with Harbor Freight and tool reviews and stuff. And him and his wife do a tool or a live stream on Sunday night. And I, once in a while I'm able to join that. But he has 150,000 subscribers and he constantly, and he's not the kind to get into it, but all kinds of other tool channels will talk junk about him. And he has to, it's such a competitive environment out there because you're trying to gain market share from time. If a given viewer has so much time to watch, and in not an infinite amount of time, they're either going to watch your video or another video. And I think people subtly know that. So then, people, especially people, I'm not talking about yet. I'm talking about the tool guys and the travel and such, but think about it. If you start to make a living doing YouTube, you're kind of like a salesperson, a little bit. Think about it. A salesperson who works on commission, the more they sell, the more money they make. Well, with YouTube, the more people who watch you, the better your videos, the more money you make through monetization and other means as well. So, it's like sales people being competitive as well. So there's an interesting dynamic there from the everydayer YouTubers that are really no threat, but then the ones that begin to get very successful. That's going to be something that has to be a part of that. A part of that journey is the competitiveness, because everybody's vying for the same sale, and the sale is somebody watching your video. And so, I don't know if they're bothering in the live stream. Happy Mother's Day. Do you have any plans, Mr. Mountain Man? Possibly going to Dollywood this weekend. Not sure. Doing something. It's up to my wife, whatever she wants to do. That's what, I'm not in charge of that. But I'll tell you this, I'm going to take her wherever she wants to go to eat or whatever like that. I like Mr. Mountain Man, our mods on Yits, tons of trolls in their live streams. Yeah. There are a lot. And a lot of the comments, it's at the discretion of the moderator too. There are sometimes comments that I probably wouldn't delete that get deleted. Obviously the stuff that's like cuss words or like insults, delete it. But some of the other stuff that might be current events, like somebody will be like, hey, I'm not sure if I feel safe in Pigeon Forge. Do we have to wear masks? And sometimes those will get removed by some moderators. I wouldn't take that one out. I think that's a good question. But some moderators feel that anything related to the pandemic or masks is taboo. Don't bring it up. And I get it. I totally get it, because such a, topic that was politicized, and there are polar opposite views and passionate views and a lot of people that got angry over it. So actually, I totally understand why it's just to err on the side of caution, just remove all that stuff. The same time, some discretion can be used to say, oh, that's a kind of a good question, let it through. But anyway, so, and if anybody asks those types of questions on this channel, they're totally acceptable. But love those folks. I don't get to cross paths with Will and Dawn so much. They're busy too. And, but I really enjoy their channel. Fantastic channel. If anybody happens to be listening to this channel and has never heard of that channel called Yankee in the South, I don't know why, but if they haven't, check it out. It's a great channel. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the chat tonight. Absolutely. Hey, Fran. I don't know if we've ever said hi before, and welcome to the channel. If you have been listening before, welcome back. Let me see what you got here. Hi, another beautiful drive is from Asheville. Yes. Home, just moved here from Detroit in October 2020. Welcome to Western North Carolina, to Highlands, North Carolina. Also, you must see Looking Glass Falls, North Carolina, Asheville area. Absolutely. Looking Glass Falls, slippery, slippery. There's just so many beautiful areas, and these are great suggestions. Thank you, Fran. Cool avatar with the little heart there on the glass. That is really neat. Very cool. And again, welcome to the Mountain Man Monday live stream. You may have been here before, but I just want to say welcome. I remember most of the folks, or maybe Fran, you've been here and you had a different avatar, and I'm just getting confused. Yes, Brian says I don't delete unless it's bad. Yeah, like, and same goes for my channel. That's kind of the thing. Like, if somebody wants to ask a question, they can. But like, usually the things that I say, like, I agree also with Will. In fact, when they used to have the old Facebook page, I used to try to defend them a lot, kind of behind the scenes, because I always thought it was pretty rude. This is just my opinion. You may not share that, and that's okay. I'm not talking about Brian. I'm talking about anybody. That I don't particularly think it's appropriate to ask how much money you make, or is this your job, or, blah, 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 blah. Now, hear me out. Some people, okay, so on that conversation, hear me out. Like, I've had other people say, well, we watch so-and-so's videos. It could be anybody. I'm talking broadly about YouTube. We deserve to know, or something like that. I mean, there are sites out there like Sling Blade and other things. I think that's what it's called. Sling Blade? Social Blade. I'm saying the old movies. Social Blade, where you can kind of get an estimate of how much a channel makes and all this stuff like that. But like, think about it. If you met somebody in society and you were just having small talk, with the first thing you ask a person, you meet at the grocery, maybe they're a fellow Steelers fan, like, well, hey, you're like the Steelers too? What job do you make? And what's your salary? Like, nobody would ask that. So I don't know, to each his own. I don't think those are great comments. So those are the types of things. I think any personal info, that's the discretion of the person. Any insults, cuss words, actually, believe it or not, like, for me, the cussing doesn't bother me unless it was directed at me. But the problem is that that's a slippery slope. Like, it doesn't offend me, but that's a slippery slope, because if some comes in, then some people get offended. So I just say that, it's not a good idea. Yeah, by the way, I have to ask you guys once in a while, because this software that I use through StreamYard doesn't do a good job of telling me what comes through. Do we ever get troll comments here, or are we just exclusive enough that it doesn't happen? Let me know. I'm just out of curiosity. Will had made a comment about interviewing people while eating, and it set the other one off. So now he's making ugly remarks. I like them both, but I think they are messing up making comments. Will had made a comment about interviewing people while eating, and it set the other one off. So now he's making ugly remarks. I lost track there, Rita, on what the story. So Will made the comments, or somebody else made the comments about the interviewing people while eating? You mean because, like, their mouth's open or something like that and they're chewing? Or I'm sorry, I don't follow that directly, but I'm sure whatever it is. Oh, I'll tell you one cool thing about Will. He's got thick skin. Like, he's done a great job. I remember early on when I was following their channel, they had some people like saying stuff, and he just did such a good job. They do. They are great people. Yes. Thank you. First visit. That's great, Fran. So I wasn't wrong and I didn't mess up. I appreciate it. It's nice to have you here. Yes. Welcome. Thank you for the suggestions. First visit. Okay. Haven't been on in a couple weeks. Hey, Big Daddy, great to have you here. And that's okay. And I'm late tonight. So thank you for being patient and joining. Welcome to the Mountain Man Monday. Fran normally starts a little earlier, but every Monday, it's a great group of people in here. Yes, Larry is exactly right. Usually you can count on East Coast time, somewhere between 6 and 9:45. I'll start. Maybe I'll even widen that 6 to 10 p.m. I can't remember if I've ever come on that late. It's possible. But, hey, I'm looking up in the corner. It says there's like 15 people here. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, laughing out loud on the salary question. Yeah, it is kind of weird, right? Like, hey, you're a Steelers fan. Really? How much money you make? I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a bad comment in here. Oh, good. Okay, that's good to know. Where does the Mountain Man live? I'm on top of a mountain, 2,350 feet in Asheville off New Leicester Highway. So I am in the Asheville area as well. All of Asheville is above 2,000 feet. 2,000 feet is at the French Broad River. And so, yes, everybody who's in Asheville is usually between 2 and 3,000 feet, although there are some houses that might be even higher. And it's pretty cool, pun intended, because the higher the elevation you go, especially in the summer, I notice in particular, you'd think the winter, but in the summer with the tree cover, you can lose or go down 10 degrees from like the, near the French Broad or that 2,000 elevation. If you go up to, 2,500 or 3,000 or something like that. And so that's fantastic. All channels need to be family friendly. Who agrees? Yeah. There's something for everyone. And yeah, I definitely, there's no need to be offensive or anything like that. But there, just like everything, there's, there are some channels that are a little bit different, but I only go on the family friendly rooms. Hope. Yeah. Yeah. I think Will was talking about not interviewing people while that person is eating. Oh, yeah, right. Like, you mean like if somebody saw me eating and they were doing like a YouTube thing and they said, "Hey, Mr. Mountain, like, can I do a video while you're eating with your family?" Is it like that? Yeah, then I'd probably be like, "Yeah, let me finish eating my hamburger." And then then I'll say something nobody would want to do that. But yes, I can look up and see 3 big houses. That's cool. Hey, Mr. Mountain and all. Hello to you, Dr. J, over there in East Tennessee on the other side of the mountains. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. I try to also, and if a word pops up, I leave the video. Okay, yeah. Well, here, Hope, the moderators would be able to hedge that and get rid of that pretty quickly. So hopefully nobody, has any issues. Working the second shift now, may be able to catch you all more often. Oh, okay. Yeah, and again, the erratic times that coming on and off. All right, so let me, this week I'm going to skip over the housekeeping. There's nothing really to say for housekeeping, so I'm going to go right into the news and notes of the week for May the 3rd, 2021. All right, got a few articles here. Let's go over and share the first, which if any of you follow me, you've already seen this article, meaning follow and subscribe on YouTube. So let me make sure I'm all. Oh, your burgers look delicious. I appreciate that. That's a shout out to, I put a picture on Instagram. Roku removes the YouTube TV app. It should say app, I believe, from the channel store as dispute with Google escalates. It's a long article from The Verge, but if you Google this, you can find it out. Here's the thing. I know some folks like to use Roku to watch YouTube. They're not watching on a device. They're not watching on a laptop or an iPad. They're watching on a Roku, using a Roku stick or a TV with Roku built in. Here's a few things about what is going on. Let me check this out here. Roku has pulled the YouTube TV from its channel store. The distribution agreement between Roku and Google for YouTube TV has expired as of today, and the two sides haven't been able to reach a new deal. However, Roku says it is taking the extra step to continue to offer existing subscribers access to YouTube TV on the Roku platform unless Google takes actions that require the full removal of the channel. New subscribers from the YouTube TV app have also been switched off until an agreement is reached. I think the long and the short of this article is if you have the app, don't delete it, because as long as you have it, you can keep it. It's not that they're blocking the streaming or the service. It's just that you won't be able to re-download it. In an email to customers, Roku warned it is also important you do not delete the YouTube TV app as it will not be available for download to the Roku devices. The regular YouTube app is unaffected by the situation, remains freely available on Roku devices. Okay, I don't understand that distinction, by the way. It's don't delete the YouTube TV app. You can't available for download to the Roku devices. The regular YouTube app is unaffected by this situation and remains freely available on Roku devices. Okay, I guess there must be a Roku version of the app and another version of the app. Listen, if you have a device and you don't know how to do this yet, any big screen TV, this is what I do. I don't pull up the YouTube app on my TVs. It's too cumbersome to sign into Mr. Mountain Man, do all that junk. I like my phone. I find the video I want to watch, and I hit the cast button, the screencast button. If your TV is on your wireless network and your phones, you can cast to your TV as long as it's been made in the last probably 3 to 5 years. And you press the cast button, it connects to your TV, and it will cast. It's a piece of cake. I wouldn't make too much of this unless you are just maybe you're not technically savvy and this is of concern. There are always like 5 other ways to make YouTube still come up on your TV, but I'll read a little bit more. We have only asked Google for 4 simple commitments, Roku said in a new statement. First, not to manipulate consumer search results. Second, not to require access to data not available to anyone else. Third, not to leverage their YouTube monopoly to force Roku to accept hardware requirements that would increase consumer costs. That's a big one. Fourth, not to act in a discriminatory and anti-competitive manner against Roku. Yes, all those made sense. Hopefully you... Oh, and I just noticed out of the corner of my eye, a YouTube TV is a subscription service. YouTube is different. Thank you, Mr. Carlos. Yes. Going on. And those 4 ways are interesting. By the way, data privacy is a big thing these days from what happened with Facebook and everybody else. So, yeah, they don't want to mess around with it. So if they sniff that there's any kind of like, what Roku is a public company, so they have stock and they have to answer to their shareholders. Now YouTube is also and is extremely successful and had great quarterly results and is doing quite well, but there's a dependency on those two there, and so Roku can't act on its own if YouTube or Google messes up or does something unfavorable that could hurt Roku. So they're probably being conservative here. Earlier this week, Google accused Roku of abusing its strong position in the streaming hardware market. Roku often engages in these types of tactics in their negotiations. We're disappointed that they chose to make business claims while we continue our ongoing negotiations. All of our work with them has been focused on ensuring a high quality and consistent experience for our viewers. We have made no request to access user data or interfere with search results. We hope we can resolve this for the sake of our mutual users. So yeah, what do I got going on here? Hold on a second and keep an eye on that. 1 second, just my phone. Okay. And, yeah, so, here's the last piece I'll read. Google also followed up with a blog post stating that our initial conversation started with Roku simply to renew the current terms of their ongoing deal with YouTube TV, which has been in place for several years. Our offer to Roku was simple and still stands. Renew the YouTube TV deal under existing reasonable terms. Google claims Roku used the opportunity to regenerate a separate deal encompassing the YouTube main app, which does not expire until December. Just 2 big companies going at it over this thing. So interesting how it'll end up coming about. I think that, again, the long and the short of it is if you have it, hopefully you're not impacted. Don't uninstall anything. And worst comes to worst, again, screencast. It's a little button. If anybody's not familiar, it looks like a square with 3 little lines in the bottom left-hand corner. I'm seeing it on my app right now that look like a Wi-Fi symbol. So it's like 3 little lines and then a box. If you press that, you're going to get a list of the devices in your house. And probably one of them, if you have a newer TV, like a big screen, is the TV. And then all of a sudden it'll cast that to that TV. Usually if the TV itself has the app. Let's see. I could still watch it today on the Roku. Yeah, again, they're not, from everything I'm reading and interpreting here. Again, check out the articles on your own for a more in-depth explanation. Is that, it's not going to impact anybody existing. It's more about not being able to continue to download that. Yeah, Chromecast is another good way, and able to use that. Oh, Rita following up. Thank you. The other YouTuber will just walk up and video people while eating, and Will say he didn't think people like that, and it ticked off the other YouTuber. Oh, okay. Well, I agree with Will because that's a manners thing. Like if somebody's eating, but I've seen a lot of videos like that where people cold go up to somebody and just ask some random question like, what do you think? Steelers or Ravens? I mean, maybe it's not football, but it's something else, completely superficial or whatever. Yeah. So All right. All right. YouTube offers streaming TV channels. Okay. Glitching on my end. Okay. Sorry about that. Hopefully it clears up. Very good. All right. Next article. All right. Speaking of Asheville, for our Ashevilleans here, or Western North Carolinians here, the baseball team, the Asheville Tourists, is going to be getting fired back up. There was an article in the Citizen Times, which is our local newspaper, no Thirsty Thursdays at the tourist games this year and other COVID-19 changes. All right. Somebody had a question. With opening day for the Asheville Tourists fast approaching, how will management be accommodating issues related to the pandemic virus? Will there be limited seating? How will concessions and ticket lines be handled? Will the number of patrons using the bathroom be at any given time be limited? The Tourists now affiliated with the Houston Astros. That's interesting. I think they're 1A. There's single A, double A, and then triple A. Triple A is the closest before you go to pros. I think the Tourists are a 1A team, so they're like first level. Affiliated with Houston Astros will open their season on May the 4th. It's a good time to look at their safety protocols. President Brian DeWine sent a list trying to hit home hard. One second here, my phone. Okay. This season, which include reduced capacity, pod seating, all tickets must be purchased in advance, digital tickets, scan your phone at the gate. That's cool. Masks on everyone age 2 and up, except while actively eating or drinking in your seat. No exceptions. And let's have a moment. The gentleman says, let's have a moment of silence for this right now. No more Thirsty Thursdays. It's kaput for now. This is the uber popular promotion that involves fantastic prices on local craft beer and even cheaper prices on mass-produced domestics. We're figuring it out, DeWine said. We've said from day one, we will do everything in our power. Let me see here. Let me check the comments 1 second because my phone froze up here for 1 second while I was reading this. Double checking. Give me a second. Hopefully it unfreezes here in a second because there's a list of other things. By the way, I love minor league baseball. I'm not much into MLB. I've mentioned it before. I grew up in Central Ohio going to Columbus Clippers games and other games. I absolutely love that. And so hold on. I think it's about to unfreeze. Sorry for this delay, folks. Oh, geez. Okay. All right. That is too bad. Here we go. All right, we're back on. So, here's the other thing. I got it. Sorry about that. Do everything in our power, keep myself, my family, and our employees to keep baseball in Asheville. That was kind of an interesting comment about keeping it in Asheville too. Like, is there a problem with that or something like that? Because sometimes baseball teams do leave. A lot of rules to follow. The tourist info sheet changes. The Asheville Tourists will greatly alter their promotions and in-game entertainment, eliminating Thirsty Thursdays. This promotion causes crowding. Therefore, we will not offer $1 beers and promote Thirsty Thursdays. Mascots will no longer roam the crowds. Contestants will no longer enter the field for between-inning contests. Let's see. Regarding the seating pods, the tourist plan calls for groups sitting together in a predetermined pods ranging from 1 to 6 seats, and the pods will be socially distanced at a minimum of 6 feet from other pods. A pod cannot be broken up or sold to more than one party, and in most situations, there will be a minimum of 4 empty seats. Also, all seats will be reserved, so no general admission style seating. Empty seats will be blocked off, tied shut with zip ties. So anyway, yeah, this is pretty cool. I love it. I'm so looking forward. I want to go back to see the Tourists. I saw them 2 years ago. It's a great family thing to do, and I'm super looking forward to it. I don't care what restrictions they have. I just like going out to the ballpark. It is so much fun. Did you see the story when the Indians had dime beer night? Was that like a long time ago, or was it all like Bud Light and Miller Lite, that they could get by the gazillion pounds and then sell like $9 hamburgers to make up for it? I will have to look that up. They used to have dime a dog, which meant 10-cent hot dogs at the Clipper games. So you get really full for the family for $1. That was pretty cool. Minor league fun games are fun to go to. Used to go to the Charleston, West Virginia games. Oh, okay, cool. Didn't turn out well. That was a really long time ago. I don't understand why they think COVID will stop while you are eating or drinking. It doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about it. No, Rhea, I do side on the side of science. And it is, I'm going to totally agree with you. I'm totally agreeing with you. And I'm also going to add to that because the other thing is that the municipalities are not medical experts. So when I've heard the wider community go, oh, such and such town or county or corporation or incorporated area or vicinity or mall or restaurants don't require masks anymore, that doesn't mean it's safe. I mean, just because some town wants to make money, needs to make money, and I understand the economic side. There is another very complex use case study or case study, excuse me, for that side of the fence. So it's can't be ignored. But strictly from the health side of it, from the biological side of things, yes, as soon as you get in and you take your mask off, that's it, the stats out there that you're much more likely potentially to have a problem with the pandemic. And also, I've never understood that when people are like, oh, such and such area said no more masks, so great. And I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. That they're not in official capacity. They just made that decision. That doesn't mean you still have to discern your own information. The really, really good news is, I believe, what is it now? 50 or 60% of adults have at least one vaccination. Talking about getting toward herd immunity is so sad what's going on in places like India and things like that. I really feel for folks like that. It's really tough. But the other side of this is so I do agree. And I'm just, again, I'm getting the second shot this week, and a few weeks after that, I'll be looking forward to, because I know the numbers have gone way down, which is fantastic. I mean, just positive news. Minor league games are great. They are great. I love it. They still do it for the Clippers. Diamond Dog. That is interesting. Used to go watch Toledo Mud Hen game all the time. That was in the same division as the Clippers. Yes. Been to their stadium, Big Daddy, but never watched them play. Have you ever been to Cherokee and seen the play that Unto These Hills? It's good. Limited during some months. I saw the commercial a bunch. I've seen the brochure. It looks so awesome. I would love to go to that someday. Have you been there, Rita? Because I would love to check that out. That's really cool. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Let's do. Okay. So here, let's go to the next article. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park synchronous firefly viewing reopens to the public in June. I had never heard of this event, but I saw this article from the Citizens Times. Again, even though visitors weren't allowed a seat in the so-called theater last year, the Great Smoky Mountains synchronous fireflies are still showing off. By the way, if that's a real picture, like on a time lapse, that is incredible. That is a really cool picture in the slide there. This year, the public is once again invited to one of the best natural shows on Earth. After being barred last year due to the pandemic, the park will host the annual synchronous firefly viewing opportunity at Elkmont, June 1st through the 8th. This is a hot ticket. So the park in recent years established a lottery to maintain visitors to a manageable number. The public may enter the viewing lottery for a vehicle pass through at recreation.gov. The lottery opens for vehicle pass applications at 10 a.m. April 30th 11:59 p.m. May 3rd. Well, so you got like an hour if you want to go do this thing. Interesting. I wonder when every year in late May to early June, thousands of visitors gather near the popular Elkmont campground to gape in hushed awe at the natural occurring phenomenon of, I'm not even going to try to say it. Let's just say firefly species that flashes synchronously. I cannot say the family that they're from. It's Photinus caro. Oh, maybe it's not that bad. Photinus carolinus. Photinus carolinus almost sounds like Carolina. That's cool. Since 2006, access to the Elkmont area has been limited during the 8 days of predicted peak activity in order to reduce traffic congestion and provide a safe viewing experience for visitors. That minimizes disturbance to these unique fireflies during peak mating periods. The number of passes is issued each day is based on parking capacity. The lottery system uses a randomized computer drawing. The application fee is $1. Successful applicants will automatically be awarded parking passes, and a $24 reservation fee will be charged to the same credit card used for the application fee. The fee covers the cost of awarding the passes on site, portable restroom supplies, and nightly personnel costs for managing the viewing opportunity at Elkmont. Oh, stinkers. So if you pay the $1 and you don't get in, then boo-hoo, I guess, right? That's pretty cool, though. Maybe, should I try it? Like, I wonder, recreation.gov. I know I'm not sharing my screen. I wonder, oops, I don't think I spelled that right. Oh, nope. One second. Let me put in fireflies. Conagry National Park? Nope, that's South Carolina. Oh, here we go. Great Smoky Mountains National Lottery. Here, I'll put it in the chat. Let me put it in the chat. Here we go. In case anybody's interested. You got an hour left. You want to pay $1. If I read the directions correctly, right, guys? So anyway, that looks cool. I don't know. That'd be a cool thing to do. I just don't know when or how to get, when I could get over there to Elkmont. That is basically in Sevier County. So, for those of us in West North Carolina, 2-hour hike over there at night. And I'm not sure if the kids would get cranky, because that's so late. But let's see here. All right, here we go. Sorry, my phone is not cooperating completely. Yeah, so what do you guys think about this? And Rita did get to go a couple years ago to Cherokee to see that Light Unto These Hills. That is cool. Oh, man. It would be amazing. Very cool. Yep. Will and Dawn went to the Firefly viewing one year and did a video. Oh, okay. Well, was it cool, Rita? Could they see a lot on film? You have to let me know. Actually, I should look it up. But I don't I mentioned a few weeks ago that I don't always like to watch things before I go. I think everything's like a nice little surprise. And some people want to know every nth degree, see every little angle. But for me, like even at Dollywood, the rides I haven't been on yet, my kids will watch the videos on YouTube of the whole ride. And I'm like, I don't want to see it. I want to be surprised when I go on it. So I don't know if I'd want to watch that one until I actually, in fact, before we got Dollywood passes, I kind of stopped watching Dollywood videos altogether because I wanted to just I wanted to go in fresh and never know what it looked like. Last up, 7-day Asheville, Western North Carolina weather. We've got, check this out. I mean, it's been very, very nice. We did need the rain, by the way. And oh my goodness, I haven't mentioned spring. The trees are all in full bloom. The grass is looking super nice. Greened up. I mowed for the first time on Saturday. Just looks incredible. And yeah, the temperatures are great here. And but I noticed that next Friday dips back down to the 40s. That was lower than that at one point. Originally, that low was in like the 30s, but as of today, that's a little more moderate. So not so bad, which is good because we definitely don't need any like frost this late in the year. Yeah, and Rita says, can't remember how well the video showed up. It would be amazing to see it live. Yes, it would. It would absolutely be cool to see it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. The news and notes for the week of May the 3rd, 2021. I almost hit end broadcast. I'm trying to look for the stop screen. That's what happens when it gets later, folks. And I'm might be pressing the wrong button there. So yeah. So I put that link in there, and yeah, so some pretty interesting articles there about what's going on in the area, and looking forward to. This is just a beautiful month right now, and yeah, today's May the 3rd. This is crazy that it's already May. Can you believe how quickly the year's gone by? That is absolutely nuts. Yeah, interesting articles. I do appreciate it. So but yeah, that's I'm trying to think of what else is going on. Yeah, so with everything in full bloom, yeah, I will be getting out to do another video here shortly on the Mr. Mountain Man channel for sure. So much to do. Absolutely. Motorcycle hikes, location videos. Who knows? Maybe once things ease up here in the summer, some dining videos and things of that nature. Only going to do dining if it's a cool place. But there are cool places around here I want to check out. So yeah, we'll do some of that. But yeah, it's getting late. It's like 10:45. I'm probably not going to drone on too much here tonight. That's why I went to the news and notes early. What else do you guys have? Any other questions? Any other comments for the week? Oh, did you get a chance to check out my Camaro? Please forgive me, Larry. By the way, I owe an apology to everybody, Larry and Kentucky Girl and a lot of folks, and even Dr. J and some others. Listen, fully transparent. You know, there's just things are busy. Listen, you guys are probably all busy too, so it probably sounds like an excuse, but it really is. Sometimes I go nonstop. I mean, it goes, you know, work and family, and you know, things break, and I'm fixing stuff and doing stuff with the kids, and like cutting myself short of sleep, probably the most, you know, better sleep that I should have. And the reality is like most of my YouTube watching is pretty lackluster as far as other people's channel. Like, yes, I listened on Will and Don's live stream yesterday, but I was cooking and I really wasn't like on it watching. I watch videos, but a lot of them are like weightlifting when I'm at the gym. And then you know, and I watch videos on when I need to fix stuff. Or if I'm taking a shower, I'll put on YouTube videos in the background. You know, so I don't sit and watch a lot of YouTube. And the reason I owe apologies is because I know a lot of people support this channel, and I apologize that the likewise I haven't given the attention back, and so please forgive me. You know, I have checked out like Lily's channel and you know, Larry and Dr. J and all these folks. I just don't sit down for long periods of time watching YouTube to give it the full credit. So my apologies. Maybe, you know, in the horizon, or I'll try to watch some of those in the background. So yeah. I bet your kids would enjoy Unto These Hills also. I think they would as well. And I definitely want to check that out again someday. The Arboretum is coming up, Big Daddy, for sure. I have passes. I missed the boat last year, and I did not want to make a video there when it was all twigs and dead trees. So that is high time. That is high top 2 or 3 going to be happening for sure. Something to look forward to. Glad I was able to join tonight. Look forward to your next video. Thank you, Brian. I do appreciate it. Oh, you're fine. I just thought you'd like to see the car. No obligation. Yes. No. And there is. And I have seen your videos, and they're great. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm absolutely going to watch that video tonight. I'm going to pull it up right now on my phone. I'm going to Living Like Larry's channel, and because I am subscribed, although this other Living Like Larry is like a SpongeBob guy. Have you seen that, Larry? Have you seen that? This is the wrong one. Let me go to my subscriptions here. Why there's so many Living Like Larry's, by the way. I'm only subscribed to one. But the SpongeBob one, when I do a quick search, let me just go to my subscriptions. And here we go. Okay. Cruising, Harbor State Park, Lake Erie. By the way,
hey everybody, it's Larry with Living Like Larry. Got my 2010 Camaro 2SS.
There's Larry's video. Yeah, I could share it here.
Transformer edition, call it. All shined up today.
Bumblebee. That's a Bumblebee. The Bumblebee car. If anybody was, yeah, that's Transformer edition. I'm sitting here hearing it right there. Let's see what some of the. Yeah, I'm going to watch that. I got it. By the way, Larry and anybody else who's from, and I just got myself out of focus here. Waldemere. How many people know about Waldemere Park up there in Erie, Pennsylvania? I want to go there. Speaking of theme parks, that place is, I'm sorry about this. Whoa, look at that. What is going on? Come back and focus. Come back and focus. I'm telling you, not my A+ game tonight, guys. I'm sorry about that. This is, there we go. Now I'm in focus. Yeah, and so Mr. Carlos says, been to Stony Knob Cafe in Weaverville. Ate there last week. Neat place, great food. I have not. Mr. Carlos, you said, when you said it was 6:45 in California, that didn't mean you were from California. You were just saying it is 6:45 in California. But if you're from the area, that's fantastic. Yeah, and I have not been there, but I want to say that I've heard it before. I miss a lot of content and I enjoy. Life is busy. We really appreciate your dedication to your channel. I appreciate that too, and the understanding. Appreciate you giving us some of your busy life. Yeah, no, nobody needs to feel. Yeah, I love being here with you all and having a good time. I feel bad about keeping your priorities. Yeah, I just don't sit down a ton and watch the YouTube. I watch a lot of background stuff. But you know, I really should have like a to-do list of going through everybody's and seeing, because you guys do great stuff too. And I'm very thankful that you guys like to hang out here. Tommy's Restaurant, Weaverville. Oh my gosh, they give a ton of food. Excellent too. There are a lot of great niche like restaurants around here that are good. But I've had some stinkers too, but there's some really good ones. SpongeBob is kid's fault. I had no idea it was a thing. Okay. We'll add it to our list. Just bought a place in Burnsville. Burnsville is great. I mean, I've ridden a motorcycle up that way coming back from Mount Mitchell. You're at a higher elevation up there. Probably get more snow than Asheville. Cool. Smoky Mountain Rough Rider. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man. Hope you're doing well, sir. Likewise to you. Just wrapping up the live stream pretty late here on a Monday. But hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. By the way, most people who make content for YouTube don't have time to watch YouTube. Yeah, the thing is that my time isn't eaten up by making YouTube content. My time is eaten up by doing other stuff. But you know, people, I want to support folks too. It's just that time in my life. You know, we got a full house and it's just crazy, like just nonstop, sometimes just on the ragged edge. Like, you know, but you know what? Thankfully we can connect here every Monday night and everybody gets together, and that's a good thing. I have heard of it and checked it out on YouTube. Yeah, I was watching Waldemere. I have so many memories. I was going there since I was a little boy, like 5, 6, 7, 8 years with my grandpa when he was living, and I would love to go back there someday. That is really cool. Had leftovers at the restaurant and took it home. Yes. Oh, that's right. Live in Raleigh. That's right. You did mention that, Mr. Carlos. I remember that now. I find it very difficult myself to get in everyone's videos and watch them, especially when you're in college. Yes, and things, and you only have so many hours in a day. Right, Kenneth? I mean, you're studying, you got priorities. So YouTube is no different than, especially if you have a channel. And I agree with what Dr. J said, is that if you don't have a channel and you're not putting time in, that time could be replaced with purely watching videos. But, you know, for me, I have to keep track of how much time I spend on things. Like, for example, that socket video, it took me 15 minutes roughly to make, record. It took me 45 minutes to edit, 15 minutes for the thumbnail, and another 15 minutes for the metadata on the video. So I think I'm at an hour and a half if I did the math right there for a 7-minute video. That's pretty spectacular to be able to go that quickly. By the way, the Mountain Man videos aren't that much, but that's 90 minutes of, you know, a schedule that's really jam-packed, and I have a lot of responsibilities. But if I wasn't making a video, maybe I'd be just watching somebody else's video. So yeah, you guys get the gist. Glad I was able to catch you in the chat with a great crew here tonight. Yes, there is. I appreciate that, Dr. J, and I hope everyone gave a thumbs up. I hope so too. What did we get? How many do we have? I can't even tell. Can you tell? Let's see. It says 14 watching. Oh, nobody thumbs down. Oh, listen, like I got it on my phone and it's like echoing. Is it? Can I chat? Hello. What's your? Can I chat? Hello. Oh, there we go. It's kind of crazy. It's like on a little bit of a delay if you guys heard that. Yeah, look, hey. So yeah, anyway, I'm definitely getting goofy. It's late. So what liner did you find? Yes, great question, Rita. I love it. And did I not put a picture on my Eclectic Candyman Instagram? I may have not, but I went with the one that you actually thought was the better one, and I'm happy I did. It was I returned the foam liner, and I kept the larger roll that was from Amazon that was easier to clean and not as porous. It was incredibly easy to cut because of the grid lines. I finished that on Saturday, cutting those liners, and I was very happy with it. So that was cool. It was kind of neat because the foam, the bigger one that I returned to Amazon, has a great return policy. I just had to take that up to Whole Foods and just hand it directly because they consolidate and then they ship it off to Amazon. 18 feet or 18 thumbs up. Yeah. 18 thumbs up, maybe 18 thumbs up. That's cool if that's it. Yeah. 19 thumbs. Somebody else did. And Mount Mitchell. Yes, I agree. Mount Mitchell. I mean, how can you not? I mean, it's like the showcase mountain here, and it's the highest one east of the Mississippi. That's so cool to say. And it gives you everything. 360-degree views, the most wonderful fresh air smells, picnic. It's just great. You know, like that's a really, really cool place. I believe we all appreciate you taking the time to provide a family-friendly channel. Enjoy makes Monday a little easier to handle. I appreciate that. Smoky Mountain Rough Rider and some others were saying similarly today as well. Absolutely. Just, you know, and I enjoy our conversations, even though it's only my voice audibly. You know, we really do have some real cool topics, especially around the news and notes. And so we're able to get into some current events and some, you know, kind of like mildly intellectual topics on things. I really enjoy everybody's comments. Roan Mountain, where the rhododendron are blooming. Yes, another beautiful place. You know, that's the other thing that's great about this channel is there are a lot of people from the area. And it's crazy. I've mentioned this before, but not that I need a massive amount of growth because I'm not putting out that much content. So I have to be, you know, aware of that. But even just the live stream Monday, there's a whole plethora of people online I've seen on Facebook that are like, I'd really like to know, like, some places to drive in Western North Carolina or some mountains or some, you know, and I'm like, but you can't like advertise like YouTube channels on some of those groups. So, or they get deleted. So it's kind of like you want to tell them like, hey, check out our channel and come meet some people. Because what I was about to say is like the other folks on this channel, like Mr. Carlos gave some recommendations. Who was it? You know, it was Dr. J and some other people were talking about some great mountains to look at. Yes, and I appreciate all the kind comments. I earlier, only a few of you will get interested by this. I was bidding another rare socket that I needed, came up, and it was a 9-day auction that ended during this live stream. That's probably why my phone was having problems because I had that app up. And dang it, I didn't win it. So, and it's a hard to get socket. So you guys don't care about that stuff, but I'm like, I'm telling you, people want that stuff. And I just, I've been watching that part number for a year and a half. And this is the first time I ever saw that socket come up, and it was brand new. Somebody had kept one around, and it is no longer there. And it went above my price, which is too much to justify for something like that. So anyway, no new rare socket video from the Eclectic Handyman. Stinkers. So, but I have a lot of other tools actually that I have picked up. Yes. Yeah, I could take out an insurance policy on the tools. They're really more of they're worth something in the eye of the beholder, except for that one socket. I have about a dozen or more tools that I've gotten in the last 6 months that I haven't made videos on yet. Some really cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I figured out if you buy tools, you'll be required to fix stuff. That is the truth. Now, the flip side of that is you got to pay people to do stuff. And we've talked about that before. And that's not a great option either. But you actually made a video about a socket interesting. My wife and I watched it last night, right? Somebody tried to reach out, and I think they wanted to buy it or something. It's not for sale, but yeah, that is the truth, right? Like, yeah, that is funny. So making it interesting. It's funny because those can be almost like Discovery Channel type. I'm not saying it's that quality, but like when you say something could be interesting, like I've watched things on like HGTV or the Food Network and things that I may not necessarily be interested in, but the way they film it and talk about things, they make it interesting. And then I get interested. Or like Antiques Roadshow. Like, I don't really care about the stuff they have there, but the way they talk about if something's rare or you found it at the garage sale, oh my gosh, that's worth, $8,000 and you got it for $10 at a garage sale. I mean, those are kind of fun stories. Even on the big screen. The only thing, Larry, one of the things that would be better. So I always shoot my videos, all of them. I have always in 4K. The resolution, and that's why they take so darn long to upload, especially with this mountain internet. They take me typically a day to upload videos unless I go out in the car and then I upload over cell, in better parts of Asheville. The thing is that once the video finishes uploading, the standard definition is available immediately, but it takes 24 to 36 hours for the 4K version to be available. So I'm getting to it. I know this is a long-winded explanation. So what happens is that I really am more concerned about the time the video gets released than waiting for it. And so what happens is when I release it, technically those that watch it on large televisions with huge resolutions are seeing a poorer quality of the video. If you were to pull up that socket video now, I'm not saying rewatch it. You might notice, and actually I haven't seen if the full 24-hour, if it's there, but you would probably notice that it's crystal clear, high resolution at this point. And that also is something I have to take into account for the Mountain Man videos, because typically as a creator, most of your views are right when the video gets released. So that's something I have to do, is like oftentimes the video will finish uploading and I'm ready to release it on, say, like a Saturday or Sunday. But I have to make that decision. Do I go ahead and release it, and a lot of people will see the standard definition version, or do I want to wait and keep it under wraps for an extra 24, 36 hours while the 4K finishes processing on YouTube servers and then release the video? And I think for Mountain Man, it's always going to be that case, because I think people will enjoy, because it's more about the views, they'll enjoy the 4K versions. The only videos I don't have in 4K are maybe my first 2 videos that I ever did. But since then, all of them are in 4K. Man is tools, man is toys. It keeps you young. That's right. That is right, Rita. Absolutely. It's about the personalities. 99% of why I continue to watch certain YouTubers. That's right. I do think that is truth right there. If somebody is uninteresting, and they're in the Bahamas or on a cruise, you're going to lose interest because it's not cool. It takes forever to upload in 4K. Yeah, it takes forever, but I've gotten used to it. Like Dr. J, I've had some of my 25 to 30 minute videos take 2 days to upload. even going out and driving and getting over cell with a faster 4G LTE, connection, then coming back home and then it's getting throttled again and then it gets up. So yeah. That's one thing I really loved about moving to town. FarmerNet was driving me crazy. And I'm still hoping to get the it's not Skynet, that's the Terminator movies. What it's Starlink. I upload in 4K, but don't have good enough home internet to watch it in 4K. Okay, so I'll give you another little tip. If you right click a video that you're watching, you guys might be able to do it now if you're on a computer and not on a mobile. There's going to be an option that says stats for nerds. Some stats are going to come up on the screen. If you see VP9 as the codec, VP9 or VP09, I forget what it is. That's the good codec. That's the codec that YouTube ends up processing the video when you have a higher quality video. If it says AC1, that's the lower quality codec. And how do you get it? You don't decide, but based on the resolution you upload, that's one indicator. And so you'll be able to tell. Yeah, there's your nerdy tech information for the day. And it's getting very late. I think we're setting a record. So I'm going to wrap up the live stream right now. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a great Monday. I hope it brightens some of your days. I don't know if Hope was still around. I know she was, it was a little bit rough week, but I want to say have a great week to everybody that's here. Larry, Dr. J, Rita. I'm going to go ahead and say to Foxy, I haven't seen her. I hope maybe next week. I'm on kind of late today. Ted and Deborah Harrison, Mr. Carlos, Smoky Mountain Rough Rider, Ted and Deborah Harrison, I already say it, Kenneth Oaks. There was Fran was on, and so was Brian and Hope, and the Big Daddy was on earlier. And I think I got everybody. Adriana Lashur and some other folks were on a lot earlier. So yes, have a great night. Oh, Big Daddy's there. Having a YouTube channel seems like way too much work. I'll let you guys do it and I'll just continue to watch. I am going to make a comment on that. Big Daddy makes a very good point here, by the way. This was an excellent one to drop right at the very end. This is a true statement. I could go on and on about this. You probably ask this again next week, but as quick as I can. If you're going to create a channel and you actually care about the content and you want to do something good, it is going to be a major time investment. And I don't know of any YouTubers that use it like a cloud backup that care absolutely zero about the people watching, because there's no point in doing YouTube if you don't care so much. So the minute you put your foot in the door, it's a commitment. And a lot of people do end up quitting. And I don't say that negatively, because it is a commitment to equipment, to time, to money. But it's a lot of fun too. So if you're getting satisfaction out of it, it's great. But with that satisfaction, anybody be lying to tell you that a little bit of stress doesn't come along with it too, because again, you want the quality, you want to be creative, you want to do a good job. There's the honeymoon period at the beginning. It's like, oh, I'm uploading videos. This is cool. And look, there's my video. But after like 6 or 8 months, if you're not getting traction, or a year, even if you're producing content, it can be like, man, I'm putting in tens and tens and tens, maybe hundreds of hours, and nobody's watching. Is this, I'm taking time away from my family, my wife, my buddies, whatever, my community, my job, whatever you're doing, whatever they're doing. And then you go through that period of like, wow, do I really want to do this anymore? So Big Daddy, this is a really, really good comment, because it's a true statement. It's not one to be pessimistic. It's just one to be realistic. The editing, just like the money, when I say the money, like if you want to have like, good videos with, stabilizers, and you got, cameras and, the audio and editing software, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, really good comment. If you want to talk more about that, put that comment again next week. I'd be happy to talk more. Mr. Carlos, have a good night. Fran says, good night, everyone. Thanks for the hospitality. Great having you here tonight, Fran. Great having you here, Rita. I hope you have a wonderful week. Yes, Larry. Hey, Todorico. Yeah, late. We're saying good night, but great to have you here, and hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Ted and Deborah Harrison, Smoky Mountain Rough Rider, and 4+ years going on for Dr. J on his channel, and your dog is probably cool. Good night, all. Looking forward to everyone's next video. Have a blessed week. Good way to end it. All right, everybody, have a great night. As I get in the frame here, I hope you all have a wonderful week. And until next time, Mr. Mountain Man saying have a great week, and we'll see you later. Good night, everyone.